Alright, my fellow investors, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to be going over my M1 Finance account. So I want to provide you guys a little update here as to what's going on in the account. So remember guys, historically September is a horrible month for stocks, so we want to go ahead and position ourselves well so that we can take advantage of that. Alright, so basically ended up buying $362.55 worth here. That was only 94 buys, not really sure why it's 94 even though my positions are 98. So I'll go ahead and research that a little further. However guys, remember you want to utilize the stair-step method, because what tends to happen is that people go heavily into pullbacks, and what happens, the market knows that, so the market makers, what they do, they make the stock market fall even more. So once it drops further, fear starts to come in and creep into people's heads, and what happens, they tend to sell off at a loss, and then let's say the next couple of days the market rebounds. All right, so then you go in at a higher position, then it does the opposite again, so then it falls again, keeps on falling. So what you want to do is with the stair-step method, use around 5 to 10% of your cash value, buy into some positions. If the market goes further, do it again, 5-10%. That way you're never caught off guard with a heavy pullback. And when the stock market does bounce back, you'll be in a great position because you were averaging down your costs. All right, so here are the buys. So it was 94 buys, happened today. These are the amounts that went into each position here. I'm just gonna go over them briefly, okay? Don't wanna take up too much of your time. I'm gonna give you guys a little breakdown of the S&P 500 right now, so you guys can see where we're at on the daily chart. All right, remember this portfolio is a buy the pullback portfolio, so every time the market pulls back, I'm going to be buying into my positions, and since I'm holding long term, we're going to be collecting dividends in the process. Okay, that way we can start the compounding effect. All right, let me see here. All right, so just briefly, those are some of the positions that I bought into. All right, so let's take a look at the SPY. All right, so you can see here our all-time high in the S&P 500. So remember, the SPY is the proxy for the S&P 500. All right, so all-time high 454.05, September 3rd. That's when we hit the all-time high. As you can see here, we've been pulling back since then. So the important thing here is that, is this going to be a minor pullback for it to continue going higher, or is this the point, the reversal, where we have to correct? So basically we'll figure that out in the next couple of days, see what the market wants to do. As you can see here, look at the pandemic lows, guys. $218. We more than doubled in a little over than a year. All right, so in a little over a year, we doubled in price since then. So if you were able to catch the market at the lows there, you more than doubled your money just with the S&P 500. Okay, so buying this ETF. However, there are several stocks that could have 7, 10x, 20x your account. One example would be Square, where it hit about $30 during the pandemic lows. Square, which is one of my favorite companies, basically bounced from the 30 levels all the way to 280 bucks, guys. So that's about 9x on your money right there. So it all depends on what positions, what kind of stocks you guys like, but the safest measure are ETFs. All right, so remember, putting your money into an ETF long term, like Warren Buffett states as well, you can't lose, guys, because it's a combination of multiple stocks in one stock, basically. So that's what an ETF is. So chances of you losing your money in that, very low, guys, because all these companies would have to go bankrupt for you to lose all your money within this ETF. All right, so like I said, we're due for a pullback because you can see here we're more than doubled in price, and corrections tend to happen every 15 months or so. So major ones, I'm talking about 10 to 20%. So the last one before the pandemic was in December, all right, when Trump was doing all that with the tariffs and all that. Market was fearful. Remember, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful, okay? So after that one, in December 2018, what happened about 15 months later, this happened, all right? So the pandemic pullback here. So a pullback was already due, but it was expedited because of the pandemic. All right, so then from the lows all the way to the highs here, 454. So we're due for a 10-15% correction, and a lot of analysts have been saying that it should be coming pretty soon. And what better month than September? All right, so remember, historically September is one of the worst months for stocks. I'll go ahead and show you guys that here. All right, you guys can see here. So the pullback started occurring, you guys can see here is reaching all-time highs, and then pullback started right here September 28, guys. Started pulling back. The pullback lasted about 3 months all the way to December. Fast forward another year. See here, where are we at? September again, guys. We're reaching 299. Pulled back all the way to 284. That was a minor pullback. And then we set up for the pandemic one because remember, every 12 to 15 months is a major pullback. And now we're about at that 15-month mark, a little bit over a 15-month mark. So we should be anticipating one. So what you want to do is basically start selling some of your profitable positions to get some type of cash so that when the market drops any further, you can go ahead and average down your cost on a lot of your positions or buy stocks on the cheap, all right? So remember, guys, be patient in the market. That's the way to win in the market. You want to figure out a way to build wealth. The market is one of the best ways to do that. All right, so I won't take up much more of your time. If you guys like this content, go ahead and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel. That way we can share our information with as many investors as possible. That way I can help you guys and myself create financial freedom, all right? For ourselves, for our families, and for our friends. Thank you guys. Appreciate the support you guys have been giving me on my channel. I'll catch you guys on the next video.